Let's dive right in. We're going to talk about how you can fundamentally change your reality. And no, not with magic, but with actual science. We're going to break down how you can escape those negative beliefs that hold you back, all by harnessing the incredible power that's already inside your brain.
Does this one sound familiar? I can't control my impulses. Maybe for you, it sounds more like, I'm just not worthy, or I'm unlovable. You know, these aren't just little fleeting thoughts. They can feel like absolute truths, like rules that dictate our entire lives.
So, have you ever felt completely stuck, like you're running in a circle that you just can't seem to escape? Well, if that's you, you are in exactly the right place, because we're going to break down why that happens and, way more importantly, how to get out of it.
To figure out the way out, first we have to really understand the trap itself. You see, it's not just a single belief. It's a powerful self-reinforcing loop that, honestly, a lot of us live in without even knowing it.
So, what are we really dealing with here? They're called negative core beliefs. These are those really deep-seated ideas we form about ourselves, usually from way back in our early years. They act like a distorted lens, coloring how we see absolutely everything and creating these cycles that just seem to prove themselves true over and over again.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting, the mechanics behind it. This isn't just a psychological thing, it's biological. There is a real, scientific reason why we feel so incredibly stuck in these patterns.
It's called a negative feedback loop, and it works in 3 pretty simple steps. First, something out there triggers that core belief. Second, you respond, maybe with negative emotions or some kind of self-sabotaging behavior. And third, and this is the real kicker, the outcome of your actions confirms that original belief, making that neural pathway even stronger for the next time. It's a perfect, vicious cycle. And what's wild is how this exact same loop can show up in totally different parts of our lives. In addiction, for example, it hijacks the brain's reward system, dopamine, and that creates compulsive habits. But in relationships, it can play out in our attachment circuits, reinforcing fears of abandonment or that feeling of unworthiness. It's the same loop, just a different battleground.
All right, so that was the problem. It sounds pretty bleak, I know. But stick with me, because here's the pivot. Here's the good news. Your brain has a built-in superpower that is the absolute key to breaking these cycles for good. And that superpower is neuroplasticity. To put it simply, your brain isn't fixed in stone. It has this incredible natural ability to form new connections, to literally rewire itself based on new experiences and new thoughts. And what that means is that no belief, no matter how old or deep it is, has to be permanent. So how do we kickstart this whole rewiring process? Well, the key is to boost something called BDNF. The easiest way to think about it is like fertilizer for your brain cells. It helps new neural pathways grow and get stronger, making it that much easier to build new, positive loops. Okay, so we know we need to use this neuroplasticity to our advantage. But how? How do we actually do that? Let's get into the practical side of things with a whole toolkit of methods you can start using pretty much today.
This toolkit has 5 really powerful methods, and they're all backed by science. We're talking about stuff like gratitude practices, the careful use of psychedelics in therapeutic settings, good old-fashioned exercise, something called cognitive reframing, and mindfulness. Each one is a different tool for actively rewiring your brain.
Let's just zoom in on one of these for a second. Cognitive reframing. This is basically the practice of treating your beliefs not as concrete facts, but as thoughts that can be changed. Through repetition, using tools like affirmations or maybe therapy like CBT, you can consciously start building new, healthier neural pathways.
And then there's an even more profound approach. In professional therapeutic settings, certain psychedelics can open what scientists call a plasticity window. The idea behind this, sometimes called rebus for relaxed beliefs under psychedelics, is that they temporarily loosen those really rigid, ingrained beliefs. This creates this prime opportunity to build new, healthier perceptions about yourself and the world.
So, we have the tools. Now for the most important part. How do we use them? Not just to break the old negative loops, but to start intentionally building new, positive ones. Let's see how this actually works. Okay, take gratitude. If you're in addiction recovery, you could focus on being grateful for waking up with a clear head, which starts to rewire your brain's reward system. In a relationship, you could actively notice and appreciate small moments with a partner to challenge those old feelings of unworthiness. See? It's the same tool, just tailored to the situation. And here is a super crucial point. This does not have to be some huge monumental effort. You don't need hours and hours a day. Seriously, Just 10 to 15 minutes of consistent daily practice is enough to start creating real long-term changes in your brain. Just remember, consistency always beats intensity, every single time.
You know, when you actually commit to this kind of practice, something pretty amazing starts to happen. You don't just stop the negative cycle, you actually reverse it. You start building a completely new kind of loop.
And that's the ultimate goal here, right? To transform that old, vicious, self-reinforcing loop into a virtuous, self-improving cycle. A cycle where your positive beliefs lead to positive actions, which get you positive outcomes, which then strengthen those positive beliefs even more. It's this powerful upward spiral of growth.
So, that really brings us to the final question, the one for you. Knowing what you know now, that you literally have the power to rewire your own brain and your reality, what's the first positive, virtuous cycle that you're going to choose to build?